The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And this afternoon, we kick off a homestand on the banks of the Mississippi. It's a doubleheader today and again tomorrow. The Cincinnati Reds are here, and it's game number one. Reds and Cardinals on Fox Sports Midwest. And welcome to the broadcast booth. That's Brad Thompson. I'm Dan McLaughlin. And welcome to Cardinals baseball. Jim Hayes is with us as well. The Cardinals start play today. One game in front of Chicago. And it's Dakota Hudson going here this afternoon. Dakota has been one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. And Brad, the question would be, what has it been about Dakota that's made him special here in the month of August?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been consistency, and it's been consistency at the bottom of the strike zone for Dakota Hudson. And to me, it looks like he's ironed out some mechanical things. He's staying back so well, getting that great sink and a couple of awesome streaks right now for Dakota Hudson. 19 innings scoreless, hasn't given up a home run in over 26 innings, keeping the ball down, keeping the opposition off balance.
The Reds were busy at the trade deadline. Trevor Bauer going for them this afternoon. And look at this, Jack Flaherty, August ERA leaders among National League starters, .71 ERA leader. Then Sonny Gray, Joe Ross, Walker Buehler, and today's starter in game one, Dakota Hudson, 1.71. Push for the Central. The Cardinals a one-game lead at the start of play today. A lot can change in the next 24 hours. 4 games for the Cardinals against the Reds. Brad Thompson, I'm Dan McLaughlin. It is 4 games in a flash. And in the month of August, partner, the Cardinals have played exceptional baseball.
They really have, and there's no surprise here. Look, with the starting pitching is doing what they've been doing. With the Cardinals relievers, with the 2.93 ERA is the best in the NL, and the defense has been on fire. You're going to see a lot of W's, and that's what we've seen so far this year. I think we're starting to see the best Cardinal baseball at the right time.
It was an off day on Thursday. Turned out to be an off day yesterday. So what you get, doubleheader today, doubleheader tomorrow. 4 games in 2 days. Baseball next. Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum just across the street, and some of the new jerseys that have been added. Along with Brad Thompson, Jim Hayes, I'm Dan McLaughlin. It is 76 degrees and a beautiful day. Game 1 of 2 on this Saturday. 76 degrees as we wrap up August. It's start number 27 for Dakota Hudson. He is 13-6, and the Cardinals need length out of their starters, unquestionably, starting right now out of Dakota Hudson.
Yes, they do. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Dakota Hudson. The fastball, the slider, been so effective. Curveball, and every once in a while you'll see the changeup. And Dan, you are absolutely right. When you have 4 games in 2 days, and look, it's 5 games in 50 hours. You got a day game on Monday also. You need innings. I know rosters are expanding, but you have go-to guys in your bullpen that you like to use in tight games. Mike Schilt does a great job of managing his pen. It's going to help out a ton if the starters are able to give him innings.
It should be a lot of fun to watch the gamesmanship back and forth, the managing of the bullpens. The rosters will expand. You do get a 26th man today. Genesis Cabrera added for St. Louis, and there's a strike. Josh Van Meter, the leadoff man for Cincinnati, and we're underway. Cincinnati Reds come in with Trevor Bauer making their start, 10 and 11. Dakota Hudson for St. Louis. Van Meter batting .274. He's at the top, and then Votto, Suarez, Aquino, Galvis, Barnhart, Dietrich, Irvin, and Bauer. Lefties in the lineup for Cincinnati.
That's something recently we've seen out of Dakota Hudson do a way better job of neutralizing those lefties. He's been getting the fastball in on him, making sure the slider is down and in, not missing with the sinker running over the middle of the plate, and you've seen it pay some big-time dividends.
Both managers changing their lineup from last night. That's just low. 2-2. Milwaukee is at Chicago today. We'll keep an eye on that score. Cubs just one game back of St. Louis. Swing and a miss, and that's how we start the day. Cardinals defense, Ozuna, Fowler, and there's Tommy Edman in right. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Carpenter, DeYoung, Wong, and Goldschmidt on the infield. Molina behind the plate, Hudson on the mound. Good start for Dakota Hudson. Joey Votto just 2 for 13 since coming off the IL with a sore back.
Think about Joey Votto, even if he's not on fire, the 2 for 13. His presence in a lineup changes a lot of things. You know how dangerous he is. Behind him, you got a couple of guys that can really swing, and him just being there changes them.
Wonder, looking forward, if the Reds need to move him in 2020 down in the lineup. If that's something that they've got to look at. Is he a 6th place hitter? Is he a 7th place hitter? I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely is something to look at with him.
Votto lines it into left and backhanded. Look what I found by Marcell Ozuna. Thank goodness he kept that in front. A single by Votto. Head turned and a backhanded play by Marcell Ozuna.
Textbook.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what that is. I got a feeling that given that play over again, you appreciate the fact that he's making the effort. He's going in and maybe thinks if that hangs up for a second that he's got a chance. But you got to make sure you stay in front of that bad boy. That could change an inning.
That gets by him. That's 3 bases at least. Eugenio Suarez, 38 home runs, and he's driven in 83. First inning, that's where he does a lot of his damage. Club record 13 home runs in the first inning, and that also leads Major League Baseball. He's 3rd in the National League. 24 of his 83 runs batted in have been in the first inning. His slugging percentage is .722. That's 2nd in the National League. And his average above .330 in the first inning.
And I think a lot of baseball players are like, who? AU what?
Yeah.
Just don't know. This guy's a star. I feel like another thing that happens when you look at some guys, and this happens to Reds players, it'll happen to Phillies players, certainly happens to Rockies players. You look at the numbers and say, yeah, but look at the ballpark that they play in. Well, he's hit 38 home runs, 19 at home, 19 on the road. This guy's dangerous everywhere.
Stands very tall at the plate and then explodes into the pitch. And teams will try to bust him in. And in talking with those that follow the Reds, if you try to go in with him, you might be doing him a favor.
You want to make sure you're getting in off the plate. The out for Dakota Hudson is likely going to be the slider away. I mean, that's where you're going to get him off. The first pitch was a great one. Perfect slider on the outer half.
Now with Dakota, you think about the ground balls and you think about the potential of a double play, which Suarez will hit into his fair share. Get something into his eye here. 3 balls and 1 strike. He's grounded into 12 this year. The 3-1 pitch. 3-2 now. You know, you're David Bell. You'd love to say, well, let's start Joey Votto here. The problem is you got Molina behind the plate. If he swings and misses, it's a double play.
Might not be worth the risk early on.
Exactly.
But then again, you can go for broke. You're out of it. You say, why not? Sometimes some managers will do that this late in the season.
I got a feeling you might see some of that in 4 games in 2 days.
In the air out to deep left, and will it stay fair? It will. A long home run. 2-0 Cincinnati. He strikes in the first inning again. 39 home runs for Suarez.
And make it 20 on the road. Dakota Hudson early in this game showing really good feel for the slider. Was throwing it down and executing down with it. This one, not so much. Trying to throw the slider down and away. You see the arm drop a tiny bit. This thing just is center cut, spinning up there, and Suarez is not going to miss that one.
And to think that they got that guy for Alfredo Simon. What a pickup.
Worked out really well. And he's under a very team-friendly contract also.
Yes. They signed him long-term, and man can flat out hit. And they've added now Aquino, who was picked up. And Aquino has burst onto the scene, called up beginning of this month, and leads all hitters in Major League Baseball in home runs with 14, 32 runs batted in. His slugging percentage above 800 since August 1st. Popped up right side, backing up. Goldschmidt calling for it, and has it on the outfield grass by about a step. 2 away. Let's turn to Brad Thompson's Toyota key to the game.
Well, it's 1 game at a time. We know that it's daunting right now. You got 4 games in 2 days. You got a day game the next day. It's 5 games in 50 hours for the Cardinals. You take 1 at a time. You can't think ahead to what's going on the second game. You can't think about, oh man, I got to play again tomorrow. You got to think about 1 pitch at a time, 1 at-bat at a time, because these games are crucial for the St. Louis Cardinals here. This is a Reds team that you should be able to take advantage of. You need these.
There's Freddie Galvis. One thing about the Reds, they did not do it at the beginning of the season, which was surprising for many around the game of baseball. They didn't hit, but now they are. And if they can have the pitching to match, they could play spoiler here in the final month. That's what they'll try to do this weekend.
And even looking further ahead, the Reds are going to be dangerous next year.
Absolutely.
You come in with that rotation that they've got. Sonny Gray, Trevor Bauer, who we'll see today. Castillo is one of the best pitchers in baseball. They got a lot going for him.
Yep. Freddie Galvis hitting .294 in the month of August. 5 doubles, 6 home runs. Only 3 walks to 34 strikeouts. And the 1-2 pitch. Pulled foul into the Cardinal dugout. The next home run by Eugenio Suarez. He'll become only the 6th player from Venezuela to hit 40 home runs in a season. Andres Galarraga, Miguel Cabrera, Richard Hidalgo. He did that with Houston. Tony Armas. Cargo did it. And he's got a month to get to number 40. And maybe he might do it today. And it's back to Hudson. So on a 3-2 pitch, Eugenio Suarez with home run number 39. And it's 2-0. Cincinnati. Fowler, Wong, Goldschmidt coming up in the bottom of the first here in game 1. Suarez with a 2-run homer, his 39th. And the Reds have an early lead here in the first game of this doubleheader. Fowler, Wong, and Goldschmidt. Then Ozuna, DeYoung, and Molina. Carpenter, switch hitter Tommy Edman, Dakota Hudson, the lineup for Mike Shildt against Trevor Bauer. Looking forward to watching this young man throw now in the National League.
Trevor Bauer is one of those guys where, I mean, he can be overpowering. He's had some ups and downs, hasn't been all perfect with the Reds so far, but he has great stuff. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Trevor Bauer: fastball, curveball, slider, cutter, changeup. And you talk about a guy that is a student of the game, like every little aspect of it, every piece of information. Trevor Bauer wants it, and he implements it into his game plan.
I was calling college baseball at the time when he was at UCLA, and he was in a rotation with Garrett Cole. I don't know how they ever lost a series.
No kidding.
But before every inning, he would go out and go behind the mound, and his first pitch to warm up, he throws it as hard as he can behind the mound. And then he goes on the mound and fires it as hard as he can. And that's how he warms up. And then he would go out before games with music like he did today. He's had headphones in. And that's lined, and a diving stop. Dietrich, and he threw it away. Great effort by Dietrich in backing up. It's the former Gold Glover Barnhart. Great effort there by Dietrich, but Fowler is aboard. He's just a unique guy. I mean, he's got great stuff, and we'll see what he's got today.
I think one of the biggest parts when you are somebody like that, where you're different, your routine is different. Sometimes you get in an organization, and that was the case with him in Arizona, where it was like they looked at him and they're like, it's too eccentric, it's too much for us. Cleveland said, we'll take him, and he had a great career there, but maybe some of it started wearing thin for him there. And look, the Reds, they've got a very forward-thinking pitching coach in Derek Johnson. Honestly, the combination of Derek Johnson and Trevor Bauer could be a scary thing in the future.
Now, Colton Wong, .326 average against the Reds this year, and that pitch taken inside. He had the issue where he chucked the ball over center field in frustration, and that obviously caught the attention of many in the sport.
Showing off the arm strength a little bit.
It was pretty good arm strength.
Bad timing.
Here's a 1-0. That ball scoots through Barnhart, and Fowler will go to second base.
You get a souvenir. You get a souvenir.
Terry Francona was coming out to take him out of the game, and Bauer just threw it over the wall, and he knew. He said, you know what, I'm sorry. My emotions got the best of me. He apologized to his teammates, and can't do that.
Tito might have helped him pack when he got traded.
Maybe so. It was a wild pitch. It's now 3-0 on Colton Wong. You ever seen that before?
No.
Me neither.
I don't expect to see it again, honestly.
And that's taken high, so base hit and a walk, and it brings in Goldschmidt. So what he's done in both stops this year with Cleveland and with Cincinnati.
Well, and you knew this, the pickup of Trevor Bauer, the trade for him, this is a long play move. This is for, you know, for next year, building something, because they believe, you mentioned the offense getting better for the Reds here recently, and that's what they expected coming into the year, that they'd be great. Now they've solidified the pitching even more. It's a dangerous club.
Cardinals have made a habit of coming back after falling behind early.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily the game plan coming into it is having to claw back, but they're not afraid at all. They battle, they fight, and you got to respect that. You're in a little bit of a hole, you dig out of it.
0-2 on Goldschmidt. 13 homers, 34 runs batted in, 9th most in the National League in both categories since the All-Star break. And he's sitting on 29 home runs. I don't know if violent delivery is the right way, but he's got some moving parts, and everything comes out the same with Bauer. Fastball, curveball, and his curveball, the difference in that velocity with the fastball is extreme, and that's where he gets guys off balance.
That's fouled back. It's kind of herky-jerky, if you will.
It is for sure. And a lot of times you think of, oh, okay, the guy's got good mechanics. So that means he's smooth and everything. There is a little bit of a twist, but you know what he's doing? He's getting the most out of his body. Like, he's utilizing the torque, and that's something, again, he is a student of it. He's trying to figure out exactly, how do I get the most out of what I have, what my body has? And mechanically, that's what he's come up with. I'd say overall it works pretty well for him.
There's the 0-2. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You mentioned that same arm slot for Trevor Bauer. I mean, that's what every pitcher wants to do. They want the ball to every pitch come out of the same area. But not everybody gets there, and not everybody focuses on it like he does. He'll throw bullpens with an apparatus out in front of him.
Out to left, and the Cardinals will get on the board as Fowler will score. Wong to third. Goldschmidt drives in his 72nd. And the first 3 have reached here in the first inning. It's now 2-1.
Well, you mentioned battling back. Here we go. Just jumping right on him. You get something over the plate, get something you can put a swing on. They're doing so. Fowler running hard the whole way. Breaking ball, it's off the plate, away, but it's up enough that Goldie can get the bat on it. They got Bauer on the ropes already.
Ozuna has hit safely in 16 of his last 19. 15 runs batted in, 15 runs scored, and a .342 average. Runners at first and third. And the first pitch to him. Ooh, strike 1. Back-to-back breaking balls to Marcell Ozuna. And another one for him. 3 in a row. Eventually you think, well, he's going to hang one.
Yeah, his breaking ball, it's got a little bit of a hump in it, but it's got such a tight spin that it drops right off. But you're right. I would think that running a fastball up in the zone might be your best idea. If the idea is to get him out on the curveball, then you got to show him something different up in the zone.
And the 0-2, another one, 4 in a row. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Bauer to Ozuna. Fastball that time. And lined into the seats. A fan giveaway to cool off. Opponents are hitting, by the way, .345 off of Bauer's fastball. And the 0-2 pitch again to Marcell Ozuna. Tapped foul. Ozuna against the Reds. 11 games, .325 the average, 4 doubles, 3 homers. He's driven in 11 and trying to add to it here in the bottom of the first. Pitch number 20 of the inning. Got him. Reds defensively this afternoon. Van Meter, Irvin, Aquino in the outfield. Around the horn presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Galvis, Iglesias, Dietrich, and Votto on the infield. Barnhart behind the plate. Brings in Paul DeJong.
Got to get that run home for third from third to tie this game up at least. He's had big numbers in his career against the Reds. Hung it, and that's ripped. Game tied. Long scores. Goldie to third. A double for Paul DeYoung, and now Goldie will score. Cardinals go on top. It's 3-2.
Paul DeYoung just being aggressive on the first thing he sees. He sees a breaking ball, little slider here that hangs up in the zone and crushes it down the line, and this thing gets caught up a little bit. Van Meter has a tough time picking it up in the corner. Just whiffed on it. And Goldie was able to score easily on this one.
It's a double RBI E7 on the play.
Back to your point about the Cardinals just not being afraid to play from behind, to battle back. To me, that's a sign of a good team. It's a team that can get in a hole, that can climb right back. You never feel like you're out of a ball game. Now, certainly this one happened early. They've traded punches in the first inning, but the way that this offense should work, you never feel like you're out of it.
That's out to left, all the way to the wall. DeYoung will score. Molina trades places. 4-2 St. Louis.
Just another breaking ball, middle of the zone right here. Bauer not having a great feel for that one. Yachty just sees it up. Nice, easy swing. And here we go. Cardinals got it rolling, got Bauer, got the Reds on the ropes early on in this one.
So back-to-back doubles. And as we were talking about how you're concerned with length out of your starter, there's got to be concern now if you're Cincinnati. That's 23 pitches to get one out, and Bauer's getting banged around here.
For sure. I guess, and I don't want to call it a luxury, because certainly not exactly where the Reds want to be, but when you look at these 4 games in 4 days, the Reds, while not mathematically eliminated, they're not likely to be a playoff team. So I think that they can deploy their bullpen a little bit differently than maybe the Cardinals could going through this 4 games in 2 days. But it's important. He's going to have to get deep into the game. Certainly Dakota Hudson's going to have to make his adjustments to get deep into the ball game. But I love this. Keep seeing stuff up in the zone. You know when Trevor Bauer gets locked in that you're going to be in trouble. Get him now while he's not.
Molina extends his hitting streak to 7. 8 runs batted in the last 5 games for Yachty. And now it's Matt Carpenter. Bauer averages about 110 pitches per start. And that pitch taken inside for a ball. 4-2 Cardinals after falling behind 2-0. Shift on the right side for Carpenter. 4 hits in the inning. Popped up left side. Suarez, he needs help. And no, he doesn't. Catch made in foul territory. Great play with his back to the infield.
I thought that was dropping for sure.
Great play.
Got both of those guys converging on this thing. This is up in the air forever. A little bit windy. Nice over-the-shoulder catch by Suarez.
This is where it becomes very tough as an 8th place hitter. Will they even pitch to him when you've had a rough inning? I mean, get yourself out of it and deal with Dakota Hudson.
Yeah, you know you're not going to get anything to hit likely, but you also know that if he is pitching to you at all, Trevor Bauer hasn't had the best command so far, so he might try to throw you a couple breaking balls and he might center cut one, so you got to be ready.
4-2 Cardinals with 4 hits here in this bottom of the first. He does pitch to him, but Edman lines it into center, and a basket catch by Phillip Ervin. Big inning for the Cardinals. They fell behind 2-0. They take the lead. It's 4-2.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. The brats on the grill. Long day of baseball. Should be a lot of fun this weekend. Back-to-back doubleheaders. More on that. Let's check in with Jim.
Yeah, Dan, the Cardinals will be playing an awful lot of baseball over the next couple days. Mike Schultz said his team will be prepared for whatever should come its way, but he said he's not going to overthink it. He says he and his staff have gone over player usage and different scenarios, but Schultz said this: my mindset literally is let's take care of the noon game with a little planning. He said, I think it's important to stay present and think about where we are in the moment. Dan Schultz also said, you only have so much energy. You start to worry about too much, that's a bad rabbit hole to go down. So, Dan, the Cardinals focused on this game and trying to stay in the moment.
Well, Jimmy, I was worried about you, and that's backhanded by Carpenter. And then I started to worry a little bit about Brad. And I said to myself, stay in the moment. I can't worry about you too much, and then I can't worry about Brad. So I stay in the moment.
Danny, this is an opportunity for all of us to do regional cable television at a high level. And so we're going to trust our stuff, I believe.
I think so. That's how we're going to do it.
I think we have to.
Yeah, you just got to stay in the moment.
We should have better communication as a team because Jim and I spent the morning worrying about you, so
don't worry about me.
Oh, we should talk more. That's all.
No, don't worry about me. I would do baseball games every day of my life if I could.
Well, you might be busy for the next 50 hours or so.
That's fine. I love it. So a couple of young employees of the Cardinals say, oh, I can't believe we got to do it.
Shut up. It's baseball.
It's gonna be awesome. So to me, honestly, this reminds me of like being a kid and you're playing these big tournaments that you're always jazzed up for as a kid. You get to play a bunch of baseball games in a couple of days. Yeah, it's awesome. A little bit different atmosphere, having thousands and thousands of people watching you do so. But you always wanted that, didn't you, as a kid?
I think it's phenomenal. The 2-1 pitch. And I'm not being facetious here. I'm not joking. I got out of the elevator and I looked at a friend of mine and I said, can you believe that these young kids were complaining? Oh, we got back to back. Yeah. Yep, you do. Shut up. It's awesome.
I wonder what it would look
like.
Go
home if you don't like it. Go do a real job.
I kind of feel like it would be nice to have doubleheaders scheduled and run them back to back. Just do it. Then you get some extra off days too.
There's a strikeout of Dietrich. Let's strikeout number 2 for Dakota Hudson.
I'm not sure that Dietrich was looking for the fastball right here. Just trying to protect a little bit. Trying to foul it off, give himself a chance.
Can you believe we got to do 2 games today and tomorrow? Yep, I can. It's really tough. Shut up.
I mean, this really rubbed you the wrong way.
I can't believe you're all of 24 and have to go to a ballpark. Wow.
It does suck, huh?
Wow. I don't know how you're going to do it. Man, geez, it's 75 degrees and you got to go to the ballpark for a full day. And again, oh man, another one tomorrow for 2 games?
Oh no.
Wow. How you going to do it? Get out of here. Here's Phillip Ervin, who's batting .307. Eighth place hitter. So I guess you got my mindset on it.
I like it. Yeah, you're chipper and you're excited about it.
I think it's great. Yeah, see what? You got back-to-back doubleheaders. You got a day game on Monday. Deal with it.
To see 4 wins in 2 days.
Yep. There's a strikeout, and there's 2 in the inning, and 3 thus far in 2 innings.
It's a great bounce-back inning right there for Dakota Hudson.
You know what my partner, one of them, would say? The big leagues, man. Deal with it. Can't take us with you. Take us on your phone or your favorite mobile device. Hey, take us wherever you go. That's the idea, Brad. It's Fox Sports Go. Bottom of the second, it's 4-2. Let's have a little fun. It's a doubleheader
on our Kia Give It Everything, game number 1 of this doubleheader. And the Cardinals, as we have a season breakdown here, overall they're 73-59, and since the break, and to me that's the sign of not only a good team, but maybe the manager and getting your team to play well, and maybe then how you manage a bullpen, how you manage a team to stay sharp, fresh. You may not like the decisions that he does or makes beginning of the year, but it pays off at the tail end because he keeps guys sharp.
There are reasons for everything,
right.
And I know that Jim Hayes just had Mike Schilt's thoughts on the doubleheader about staying in the moment, but there's always a long play. There's always a reason for why you do everything, and honestly it's reminiscent of the way Tony La Russa would manage, and you would look at the records in the second half, and Tony had his teams ready to go. Mike Schilt, a Tony disciple. I'm just excited we're starting to see the Cardinals play their best baseball at the biggest times.
Well, I think it does beg the question for you, and you were in the middle of it. Tony La Russa, in my mind, managed differently in April and May his bullpen than what he did come August and September and certainly October. And there was a reason why he was going deep into postseasons. You were a part of that. You felt that. Did he manage differently?
Yeah, I believe so. Every game means something. You realize that the games early in the season mean just as much as the games late as far as wins and losses go. But Tony had a great feel for the fact that he knew he couldn't keep running the same guys out there over and over again early in the season because he was going to need them at the end of the season when there was such a microscope on the games. He did a great job of keeping his guys fresh and utilizing his entire roster. And, you know, just like Mike Schilt, Tony didn't have a roster where he wasn't sure of guys. Like, he made sure he had a roster that he can utilize.
Three and one the count on Dexter Fowler. Singled and scored back in the first. And there's a strike. I don't think there's any doubting that, you know, Trevor Bauer is a unique sort. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
We're all a little different, right?
Yeah.
In our own way.
I appreciate it.
As Fowler hits a high drive out to deep right. At the wall. Get out of here. A long one. Over the bullpen and right. Number 16 for Dexter. And a souvenir. 5-2. Nissan. Drive of the game.
The 3-1, it was a fastball spotted up, down and away. Trevor Bauer tries to go in on him. Dexter Fowler says, not going to happen. He pulls the hands in and hammers this thing over the bullpen in right field. He gets every bit of this. Those hands are fast again this year for Dexter Fowler.
And Wong pulls it foul. I've come to the conclusion, I think, I don't know if you agree with this, we will have a handful of guys that hit around 300, but you're just going to have a bunch of guys that hit for power, don't worry about average.
Yeah.
And a good year is going to be around 260, 270. An okay year will be around 250, 260. And it'll be 20 home runs, 75, 80 RBI, and play decent defense, and that's a solid year.
Oh, and it's going to be OBP. That'll be a number you look at. OPS is going to be a number that you look at a lot more than average, and I'm sure you get that feedback all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Where you say, oh, this guy's having a good year, and somebody will send you a tweet or a text or something.
He's hitting 260. What do you mean he's having a good year? that ain't it anymore. It's
right.
not the batting average. Now, we can say we love it, we hate it, whatever. I would love to see the ball put in play more, spread around more. I'd love to see guys, everybody hit 300. But the game's different right now. You have to look at it differently.
So you agree with me?
I do.
All right, between games, let's make a note. Let's go take a look at how many guys. We probably could do it now, but how many guys are hitting 300 across the board in Major League Baseball?
We'll put a minimum on the plate appearances.
Exactly. And compare it to 5 years ago and then 10 years ago.
All right, we're going to do this. You want to set an over-under really fast of just how many we think? And we'll get into this in the second game.
I'd say 15.
All right, I'm going to go over that. I'm going to take 18.
Okay.
I should do the Price is Right jerk move of going 16. Just sit right on top of you, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave a little bit in the middle there.
I mean, that's amazing that there's only that many guys doing it. I mean, the reason I thought of that is because of Goldschmidt. I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, he's hitting about 260, but then I look and I go, well, he's going to wind up with 30, 35 home runs and drive in 80 to 85. Okay.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah. That's about what you wanted 30, 35. You're going to get it. The 2-2. Three and two, the count on Paul Goldschmidt. And he draws a 2-out walk. So you've already done the numbers?
Yeah, this year, 300 hitters. 15 of them. 15. Right on the nose. Almost like you did some research beforehand. I don't know. Feel a little shady about this deal here.
I didn't.
10 of them in the NL. That's it.
That actually surprises me.
Yeah?
I'd figure it'd be the other way.
Me too.
Here's Marcell Ozuna, who struck out swinging. It's a ton of breaking balls his first time up.
And those are qualified hitters, so I'm sure there's more if we lowered the plate appearances.
Ozuna rips it to third, and what a play again by Suarez, who's made his second really nice play defensively and has also hit a 2-run homer. Speaking of homers, Dexter Fowler with number 16. Cardinals a 5-2 lead. Ballpark, and you get a doubleheader like today or tomorrow. You download the Ballpark app and you find out what's at that ballpark. Make sure you download it, the Ballpark app. You find out all about the goodies, the giveaways, the Ballpark app. So here you go. In 2009, so 10 years ago, there were 42 players that hit 300 or better. If you go to 2000, there were 53 players hitting 300 or better.
And currently we're sitting at 15.
Wow. There's a ground ball. Nice hands by Carpenter, and takes a hit away from Trevor Bauer.
This was not an easy hop here that Carpenter gets. Kind of gets caught in between. Generally, you want a short hop or a long hop. That's a medium one. Uses the hands really well.
Good play.
Do you think we'll see that trend come back?
I do.
I do too.
I think sports are cyclical.
Yep. I think we'll see the shift starting to get beat. I don't think we'll see the shift outlawed. Do you?
No.
And honestly, I don't think that we should. I think that we should just figure out a way as baseball players to beat it.
Well,
to make it work to your advantage.
I would think that I don't know if you agree with this, and we're back to Van Meter at the top. It'll start being used in college and then maybe even in high school. So then those kids will learn how to beat it.
Yeah.
So
it'll open up the hitting lanes, and then you get back to more traditional baseball.
I'm running my son's, my 6-year-old son's practice next week,
So
and it's
you're learning
all
how to
shifts.
shift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole practice is going to be shifts.
There's a fly ball out to left. I actually did your radio show yesterday.
Thank you for doing that. I didn't do it.
And I noticed that you weren't on your program that I filled in for. But anyway, it brings in Votto. I'm not sure there's a player in baseball where the shift has affected him more than Matt Carpenter. And so when he first came to the big leagues in 2011, you saw the shift here and there, but it's really affected him. And now it's, you know, he's being shifted more than anybody else in baseball. And when he first came up, he was probably seeing traditional defense. Now it's up to him to make the adjustment, clearly. And he changed as a hitter, too. He became more of a power hitter. And at that time, he was spraying the ball everywhere and hitting 55 doubles.
That was the best way to beat the shift, right? Gaps are over the fence.
So, I just think it's going to get to a point where guys do make that transition. But it's really it's incumbent on the player to make the adjustment. And I do think players will. And it's incumbent on him to make the adjustment. And I think he will. He's got 2 more years on his contract to do that. But I think as players see it earlier in their careers, meaning college or high school, or learning how to bunt against it, I think those things will happen.
Learn how to what?
Bunt.
Well, that's a weird word.
Yeah. There's a strikeout of Votto, and that's number 4 today for Hudson. We're midway through 3. DeYoung, Molina, and the aforementioned Carpenter coming up. Now time for T-Mobile's connection to the game and the NL Central race. Cardinals, Brewers, and Cubs in the strength of schedule. And also a little bit of the head-to-head. Always fun to take a look at what's left. Cubs, Brewers, and Cardinals. And do they scoreboard watch? Of course they do. I don't want to hear that either.
No, we're just focused on the here, the now. You know, don't worry about what anybody else is doing. We got to take care of our business, which is true. And it's a cliche answer you're going to get all the time, but certainly everybody knows what's going on around the league. It's a fun time of year. It's a fun time of year to be a player when you can feel it in the air today. You wake up, it feels a little different out, starting to cool down a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Here's DeYoung, who doubled to left, picked up an RBI, and then there was an error on a play that also led to a run. And it was another double by DeYoung, which often gets overlooked. He has 24 home runs. But a number of doubles, especially early on in the season by Paul. This guy has been a hitting machine. We were talking during the break, and you made a very valuable point. And there is a foul ball, but the shift, we mentioned what it does for the hitter, but it also allows you to move a guy like DeYoung, who, as we've mentioned many times, was a catcher in college and then primarily a third baseman in the minor leagues, to shortstop. He's not Ozzie Smith, but you can play him as a shortstop because of the shift in the major leagues.
Yeah, well, he's got good hands. He's got a good arm. He's as smart of a baseball player as you're going to find, and his range is getting better and better. Instincts are getting better and better. But the positioning of Paul DeYoung last year, this year even more so, has been so perfect. I mean, the staff, Ollie Marmol, Mike Schilt, the entire group, man, they're putting him in such a good
position that the shift has worked out. I mean, it's turned him into one of the better shortstops around just because of the fact that, first of all, his skill set, and then where he's playing most of the time. Pretty good combination the Cardinals have up the middle.
No doubt. It could be together for a long time. Elevated that pitch, and it's popped up. Barnhart near the screen, and it's out of play. He's first in fielding percentage, and he's also first in double plays, 96. 2-2 the count on DeYoung. We're in the bottom of the third, and it's 5-2. Ooh, he hung it, but fooled him just a bit, and a strikeout. That's number 4. Got a Bud Badge coming up, and that's with Woody Williams. Theme ticket, Woody Williams bobblehead, and access to his pregame autograph session. Cardinals.com/Bud Bash, and that'll be Tuesday.
I feel like I find myself saying this a lot around the Cardinals organization, but they don't build them much better than Woody Williams either.
Agreed. He's coming back on Tuesday, and Yachty sends one out to deep left center. It's at the wall, and he is red hot, and he knew it. Yachty with home run number 8. He's doubled and now homered, and he is hot.
Yachty got himself a fastball center cut. 96, catches way too much of the plate. Look at that pretty swing. Extension. That was a beautiful home run right there. You knew right off the bat that this thing was way gone. Yachty's feeling it right now.
Big time.
You know he's going to want to catch all 4 games, right?
I was just thinking, how do you divvy it up for him? So Yachty, for your betterment, you're going to have to sit.
Say, no, I'm good. Thanks. I appreciate you looking out for me and all, but I'm just going to keep raking. Just a perfect balanced swing. Tries to get extension. He gets the hands way out. That's as well balanced as you're going to be.
It's 14 for his last 26. 4 home runs, 2 doubles, 9 runs batted in as Carpenter pops it up. Second time he's done that today, and he is 0 for 2. And it brings in Edman with 2 outs. 6-2 our score.
Dan, we spent some time today talking about the doubleheader and for the players and for the staff, how you manage it. I think this would be a lot of fun for a fan. These guys come down here, come to the ball game, go get something to eat, come right back at night.
Right center, and Edman retired. Twice he has flied to center field. Home run by Yachty. It's Old St. Louis. The second consecutive game against Milwaukee, and this one, that was the elbow, and then Tuesday, right there on the wrist, he had been hit there before. Ouch. Oh boy. And then the welt started to swell. We didn't know the extent of it. Let's check in with Jimmy.
Yeah, Lane obviously disappointed about the right wrist fracture that will sideline him 3 to 6 weeks, possibly end his season, but he's still holding that hope for a return. Lane plans to get another opinion from a specialist this week. Lane told me, my goal is to be able to come back and contribute in some way. All I can do is make sure I'm ready if that happens. Lane was hit by a pitch on Tuesday. He said back in 2016 in the minors, same thing happened, hit by a pitch and suffered a broken bone in his wrist. And Lane had impressed a lot of people with the way he played this season.
Well, let's also talk about, as Suarez is at the plate, Jimmy, how the Cardinals are lining up their pitching for the rest of the day if things go to plan. By the way, they have added Gallegos, obviously is here, but the lefty Cabrera is here. That's the 26th man. But let's talk about what they're going to do with starters today, tomorrow, Monday. That's pulled foul by Eugenio Suarez. But what are they going to do here, Jimmy?
Okay, so Waka goes in game 2. Then it's Michaelis and Ponce for the doubleheader tomorrow. Adam Wainwright will go on Monday. And then Mike Schilt also mentioned that Jose Martinez, Mike Myers, Kisner, Junior Fernandez, and Ponce will join the team tomorrow with the expanded rosters. On Tuesday, Ravello, Arozarena, and Sosa will join the ball club, Danny.
Jimmy, that's so fast. Wait a minute, what?
You want me to go through that again?
Yeah, that's way too fast. Because I was saying Genesis Cabrera, and I messed it all up with saying
Cabrera's the
Giovanni
extra.
Gallego. So let's just slow it down here.
Cabrera is the extra guy for today.
Yeah.
Mike Schilt said that's for the doubleheader for the makeup game. With the expanded rosters, Jose Martinez, Mike Myers, Andrew Kisner, Junior Fernandez, and Daniel Ponce de Leon will join the team tomorrow. Then it will be Ravello, Arozarena, and Sosa joining the team on Tuesday. And if you'd like me to go over the pitching, I can do that. It's Waka for Game 2 today. Then tomorrow for the doubleheader, Michaelis and Ponce. And then on Monday, Adam Wainwright. And I hope I wasn't too fast because, Dan, we know it's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right, Jimmy.
How's Brad doing in there? Is he okay?
He's great.
He was right. You know, we had a little meeting. I think their communication isn't great. We were concerned, but I could tell by the way things are going. You're right in the zone, Danny.
Great stuff, Jimmy, always. Thank you. Here's Aquino, 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. And there's a swing and a miss. And Dakota Hudson, this is exactly what the Cardinals needed. He looks good.
Yeah, he settled in quite well after a 23-pitch first inning. Had the home run, the mistake to Suarez, but since then he has been lights out. This is a tight slider down and away. Sets him up really well. Aquino obviously can't handle that one. Just trying to wave at it to foul it off to give himself a chance. But you're right. This is what they need. They need innings. They need outs quick. It's going to be interesting how this all sets up. It's great to see him settle in this way.
11 of 13 first pitch strikes now for Dakota Hudson. At 6 strikeouts, he's trying to add to his win total. He's got 13 wins, which is first among NL rookies. And here is Freddie Galvis, who grounded back to Dakota his first time up. Right down central. So important after falling behind 2-0. Suarez hit the home run. The Cardinals have come back with 6 unanswered.
Tell you what, as a pitcher too, and I don't care if you're a veteran guy or a young pitcher like Dakota Hudson, that just gives you that newfound belief. It's like, oh man, my boy's got me back into this game. Here we go. I'm going to keep it right here, and that's exactly what he's done. Just seen such a change in him in the last month of just pounding the bottom of the strike zone, being confident in all of his pitches. It just looks so good.
Boy, Jimmy just rattled through that pitching so fast. I had to have him redo it. You know, I just wait a minute. Ponce here, Waka here, parts. And Michael is here, and then Waino here. Wow, I was confused, and then I got it down into right. Edman has to go back. It makes the catch. So after the home run, he's really settled in. 6-2 midway through 4. Time ever. And that's why when it says on the promo first time ever, you have to give it special attention. Cardinals and Funko have joined forces to create a Busch Stadium Gate giveaway exclusive. September 2nd, 30,000 fans entering a ticket receive a Yadier Molino Funko Pop, courtesy of Nathan's Famous, in honor of Yadi's gold and platinum gloves. Very limited number, will be painted completely silver or gold. It's a Labor Day tickets at cardinals.com/promotions for a Funko Pop.
Hey, Dan.
And that's a strike.
You mind giving me one of those Funko Pops on Monday? I won't be working with you.
Well, I've already
I don't care which one it is, whether it be gold, platinum.
I've already told Tim that I got him a couple of those Funko Pops,
well,
but I'll
Tim
ask.
should get them first. I understand that. There's a pecking order here.
Specifically, I will get you a Funko Pop.
Thank you.
It's a first time ever, and it's a
Giveaway exclusive. Monday, September 2nd. Funko Pop. You want one? Don? Tim?
Everybody's excited about these.
I know.
It's different.
I've never.
It's like the first time ever.
I didn't know what a Funko Pop was until I was shown it, and then I thought, oh, well, then I saw it, and then that's a Funko Pop? My God.
Well, it's like anything else, right? Like, you probably didn't know what a Beanie Baby was until you saw it, and then
No,
they were
I knew
all
what
the
a
rage.
Beanie Baby was.
But before, like when they first came out.
No, I knew what it was.
How? How would you know?
Because everybody knows what it is.
I'm just saying, it's one of those sensations where it's like, oh, man, I'm in now, but it's going to be even better later.
Watch your step.
What?
Watch it.
I wasn't saying you didn't know what a Beanie Baby was. I'm just saying how awesome the Funko Pop is.
Watch your step.
Here's a Funko Pop right here. Nice out of the ballpark.
That's a great segue.
You like that?
A little pop on the bat.
No big deal. Dexter pulling the hands in. This is a fastball. It's middle in, and he does pull those hands in right over the bullpen.
Little pop on that one. Funko Pop.
That's right.
And that pitch taken for a ball by Dexter Fowler.
Now that I'm thinking about it, probably should have saved that one for when we show the highlight of his home run, since it's his Funko Pop. But you know, when you got something good, you got to go with it.
Mm-hmm. Fowler is 2 for 2. He's got an infield hit and a home run. It's a day like today where you get a cycle. You've got the home run. You've got the single with a infield hit on a diving stop. So now you just add the triple, and then you get the double late. That's really going out on a limb.
I like it.
Why not?
Would you be okay with the double here?
Sure.
So you don't care what order it comes in?
No, just get you get a little intrigue.
Okay.
So this will be the double on a 3-1 pitch. Slap it the other way. There's a big gap in the left center, and they're playing shallow with Van Meter in left. He's very shallow in left.
Yeah, he is.
Now moving Irvin a little bit in left center. Takes it up the middle. That's Suarez spinning, and a base hit for Fowler. 3 for 3. And with Colton Wong coming up, we tell you about our AARP take on Colton Wong against the Reds and his numbers this year. The average above 300, couple of homers. He's driven in 5. He's scored 7. Colton Wong. Already today, he has walked and scored and struck out looking. Cardinals trying to add to their 6-2 lead with 1 out. And a runner at first. And up by 4. Would they want to be aggressive here? Trevor Bauer from North Hollywood, California. 3rd overall pick in 2011. It was with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Traded from Arizona to Cleveland. That was a 3-team deal that also involved the Reds. He has great interest in physics as it relates to baseball and pitching, which started when he was in the 9th grade. Likes to apply Newtonian physics to baseball to make himself a better pitcher.
I got a feeling that is probably passed down. His dad is a chemical engineer. They would just break it down together.
He holds the all-time record for strikeouts in UCLA history. 460 when he was in college. Mechanical engineer
while at UCLA. The 2-1.
Yeah, his warm-ups, I mean, his routine, it's different. You don't see anybody around the league doing stuff that he does. But you know what? A lot of times guys might have different routines, and then they get away from them because they feel like they're being looked at or people are talking about them.
He could care less.
He doesn't care, and good for him, because running into some problems in this game, certainly, and it hasn't been the greatest start with the Reds so far. But Trevor Bauer has had a ton of success in this league, and he's been doing it his own way, and I appreciate that, you know.
He was an all-star in 2018. And now he gets Goldschmidt, and Paul could put one swing on it, and all of a sudden, Cardinals could really be in control of game one of the doubleheader.
Did you know Trevor Bauer also does music?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it here in a second.
I can't wait.
There's a fastball and a strike. There's a little purpose behind what he does.
Yeah?
I like what he does. He started his own production company called Momentum Films. And he did that to raise the profile and brand of other small market major league players, promote baseball as a sport for young kids. He tried to get young kids more involved in the game. He thought music, and by doing small films, it might be a way to do that and get them interested in the game of baseball. The 1-1 doesn't chase. He also has a passion for drones, and drones also could be a way to cut your hand, which is something that happened to him too.
Make one mistake in the playoffs and all of a sudden nobody forgets.
Well, it happens.
It does. To him.
2-1 pitch. Runner goes, and a throw down to third. Quick tag, and got him. The quick tag and a quick release as they'll check. Ali Marmol back with the club. And Fowler indeed is caught stealing.
I don't mind the idea, though, of being aggressive. You have him on the ropes. You got a chance right there to get two guys in scoring position.
And it's lined to second. Ball was tattooed, but into the glove of Dietrich. Today in Cardinals history, Rick Ankiel going deep. Grand slam fuels the win that made Tony La Russa the Cardinals' winningest manager in Cardinals history. Pretty ironic. See more at fuse.com. It's the summer of Lou. And Tony went through and Rick went through so much together, and it's Ricky and Keel hits that grand slam.
Those two are very intertwined.
Yes, they are. It's 11 in a row set down by Dakota Hudson. Tucker Barnhart, Derek Dietrich, Phillip Ervin, game one of this doubleheader as Hudson has worked quickly. He hasn't been over the center of the plate. It's been on the corners, and he's looked very good.
He's working down really well, too. We've seen a big difference here in his last handful of starts where the sinker, it's sinking. It's downward movement. Sometimes you see, and sometimes it looks better.
That's a fair ball down into the left field corner. Snaps a string of 11 in a row. Barnhart will trot into second base with a ground rule double.
I think there are a lot of times on TV where you see movement from a pitcher, a guy that's a two-seam guy, a sinker ball guy, and you see side-to-side movement, and it looks good. It's not really what you're looking for. You're looking for the downward movement. This one here just kind of stays up a little bit. Barnhart does a good job of just shooting it the other way.
Derek Dietrich struck out swinging first time up. Hudson has struck out 6, and that's out of play. Really a wasted opportunity there for the Cardinals, as they had 2 runners on and do not score there in the bottom of the 4th. Fowler caught stealing, and then a line out off the bat of Paul Goldschmidt. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Bunting. One hop to Hudson. Looks back the runner. Thank you very much. And now a quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Thank you.
No, I checked my balance. Great Southern app.
Great.
Well, I don't know if that's a very good baseball play there with the 8th place hitter coming up, and then you have Trevor Bauer if he's going to stay in this game.
Doing you a favor.
Yeah. I don't like that play.
I mean, I like it a lot.
Bunting for a base hit, but
I like it from this side.
That just gave you an out, and he stays put at second base. And Dietrich, a guy that had 19 home runs coming into play today.
Dakota here from the stretch is going to have to really focus on staying on top of the ball. Remember, if he had retired 11 in a row, hadn't thrown from the stretch since the home run from Suarez, which was a hanging slider that he just got under. Big key is just staying back, staying on top.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Dakota right now, just within his mechanics, he looks like he's just so comfortable, gathers everything over the rubber. As a pitcher, a lot of things happen over on top of the rubber. The hands breaking, the separation. You can get yourself in trouble if your hands break late as you're going down the hill.
Oh, hit by the pitch on a ball that jumped up and in on Phillip Ervin. And they'll pull back Trevor Bauer.
Well, give himself an opportunity right here. Get a ground ball. Mike Maddox going to come out and talk this one over. That is the beauty, though, of having a guy like Dakota Hudson on the mound. You get in a situation like this, you know you're 1 pitch away.
By the way, the game that Ankiel hit that grand slam, that was also the game that Aaron Miles is at the plate and lined a ball to the on-deck circle that hit Juan Encarnacion and ended his career. Were you here? Were you in uniform?
No, shockingly, I was in Memphis during that one.
Okay.
It happens.
It was
scary, man.
Oh, it's so sad.
It's awful.
A pair of right-handers getting loose.
I'm still shocked that we continue to have the same setup that we do.
Well, you've heard me talk about it.
Yeah, well, especially, I know you've talked about that, and with, you know, the ball boys, ball girls, just right there.
Yep. I would assume that netting will be extended in many, many ballparks after this season, whether it becomes mandatory in Major League Baseball, and if ballparks are able to do that. A lot of it is going to be dictated by television and sight lines and, of course, setups.
Yeah, you don't build a ballpark thinking about netting line to line.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Nick Senzel, popped up to the right side, giving chase. Goldschmidt, and makes the catch. Nice play, and quickly fires a strike to third. Great play, Paul Goldschmidt.
That's out number 2.
Goldie got a pretty long way to go right here. Has the beat on it. He knows the runner's there at second. He knows if he doesn't turn and throw, he's going to tag.
Line on Bauer was 4 innings, 6 runs on 7 hits, struck out 5, walked 3, gave up a pair of home runs. And with the 5 strikeouts, gave Bauer 222 now for the year. That sets a career high, 222 strikeouts. Top of the lineup, and Josh Van Meter. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a fly out to left. 2 runners on. 6-2 our score. First pitch taken down. Do you find that in doubleheaders that home plate umpires expand the zone at all?
I feel like every umpire is different. I feel like maybe there's some guys that look at it and say, all right, well, I'm going to give these corners. But I think that's hard to do as an umpire, too. Like, you have your zone that you call all the time. To be able to change it, I don't think it would be that easy of a thing.
Chris Conroy, the home plate umpire, I think he's been pretty consistent.
He has.
Adrian Johnson, Doug Eddings. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Van Meter. 2 balls and no strikes. Fly ball out to left. Ozuna back and makes the catch. We're midway through 5 of game 1. Cardinals on top 6-2.
Your BJC Healthcare Difference Maker pitch locations. Well, it was trouble for Bauer. Breaking balls up in the zone. Fastball center cut that he missed, and the Cardinals took advantage. 7 hits, 6 runs against Bauer. Bauer normally a tough customer, and the Cardinals were ready for him. And so far, so good. After the Cardinals gave up a couple in the first, they've responded quite well. Chevy called to the bullpen. R.J. Alanis into the game.
I wasn't expecting that out of Bauer.
I wasn't either.
I thought it'd be a little bit lengthier of a start, but it happens.
Totally fine with it.
I agree.
I like the way that the Cardinals were ready to jump on stuff. Breaking balls up in the zone. They know that he throws a lot of them, a lot of curveballs, a lot of sliders. They were ready, and when he tried to sneak a fastball by when he missed his location, they were ready for that as well.
I don't normally say this because I give the hitters credit, but you got to wonder if he was tipping pitches. I mean, guys were taking healthy cracks at him. And in today's day and age of video, and this goes with the Cardinals too, sometimes I watch at bats against Cardinal pitching, and sometimes I say, well, how are they taking those at bats against guys that are throwing that hard with that kind of stuff? And you say, how does that happen? You wonder if guys are tipping pitches.
Yeah.
More and more you think that.
Well, you do know this when it comes to Trevor Bauer. He's going to go back and look at everything.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's that kind of guy. He breaks down every single one of his outings. He breaks down, everything about himself. So I'm sure that he'll dig into that.
Last time out for Bauer, Sunday at Pittsburgh, it was 8 runs, 7 earned in 3 innings as Ozuna hits it out to left. And that's caught on the track. So that's now 13 earned in his last 7 innings pitched for Trevor Bauer. With Cleveland, he was 9-8. 3.79 ERA. With Cincinnati, 5 starts. Trevor Bauer, he's 1-3 and a 7.62 ERA. That's
un-Bauer-like.
It is. I still believe, though, when it comes to the Trevor Bauer trade, they do it again in a heartbeat, knowing these numbers. I mean, this is the long play. This is for next year. They know that they've got their pitching staff set up. They've got their rotation set up specifically. The offense, which underperformed for most of the season, has come alive here recently and will be intact next year. And they're going to be a tough customer in the Central.
Here's Paul DeYoung, who double home a run back in the first inning. Cardinals fell behind 2-0. It was a home run hit by Eugenio Suarez. And then the Cardinals came back with 6. That was the 28th double hit by Paul. He's got a chance to be a 30-30 guy. 30 homers, 30 doubles. Lifted to left. Van Meter, 2 away. Here's Molina, who is doubled and homered. I like what you said earlier. It was every kid's dream to play, a doubleheader. Yeah. This is what you wanted. Well, back in, the 45 season, they had a stretch like this. They had 4 days where they played in 5 games. 4 days, doubleheaders.
Yeah, go get them.
Go get them. It's fun. Quickly at 1-2-3. Cardinals have won 15 of 19 games since they last dropped consecutive games. Their home winning percentage, 5th best in baseball. They're 35-24, 5th best in baseball inside the division, which is what you always look at. You take care of business at home, you take care of business inside the division, and that's what they've been doing under Mike Schilt. Here's a 1-0 pitch. And they're riding a couple of rookies when you think about it, Flaherty and Hudson, in doing so.
Yeah, and look, I guess it doesn't matter who gets you to this point. It's the fact that you're there. But Jack Flaherty has been one of the best pitchers in all of baseball here in the last couple of months. I mean, he has been so good, and Dakota Hudson finds himself right there too, consistent. Out to left and foul, not by much, off the bat of Otto. That's what I've loved out of this recent run of great play, and certainly it's been just a great year overall. But you've got everybody's contributing to this. The starting pitching has been good. The bullpen has been a constant throughout the year. The offense has come alive, and it seems like if there's one aspect of the team in a given day that is maybe lacking, well, something else picks them up. That's what good clubs do. They pick each other up.
Ozuna battling the sun, maybe. I don't really know if it's that sunny out, but hey, whatever.
Outs and out.
Outs and out. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Missouri Baptist Medical Center. Doctors call it world-class medicine. You'll call it MoBap. And by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. Votto retired. He's 1 for 3, and now it's Suarez. Suarez 2-run homer on a 3-2 pitch back in the first as the sun is now peeking through the clouds.
He saw it before you did.
Yep, sure did. And the 0-1. So when you have these types of doubleheaders, they'll get everybody out of here. It'll be a new crew that comes in with vendors and ushers, clean it up, get ready for the night game. Ground ball, base hit, extra bases for Suarez. His second hit, 2 for 3.
Dakota gets the ground ball, just doesn't have anybody here down the line. This one just a sinker. He's trying to go in a little bit more, ends up being down middle. Not crushed, but hitting a great spot. Talking about the new crews that come in with a doubleheader, Dan. It's amazing, isn't it, the logistics that go into stuff like this. And then on the fly, I mean, having to change with the rain out last night, having to get a doubleheader for the following night. A lot of hoops to jump through.
It brings in Aquino, who is 0 for 2, popped out and struck out. And he pops it up on the first pitch. Carpenter out number 2.
I heard that Ricky Horton was trying to find out my my college stats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wanted to go off on me. I'll just tell them to you, Ricky. A lot of errors, not many home runs, not a really good batting average, and a pretty poor career. So I'll just go ahead and do it for you, Ricky.
Do you think that those are the kind of numbers that he wanted, or do you think that he was trying to build a case to build you up more than that?
No, I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to bury me.
No, he seems like a nice guy. I don't think that he would do that.
No, he was trying to bury me.
I feel like he would try to build you up a little bit.
No, he'd be trying to bury me.
Oh.
Definitely more errors than probably extra base hits.
That's disappointing.
But I mean, truth hurts. So if next time, Ricky, if you want to know, just ask me.
I mean, he could just stick his head around the window. He's not that far away. Oh, no, he's across the street.
Yeah, he's across the street.
No, he could stick his head. I mean, we could see the studio. But you had a good landing spot after your career.
Right here.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Worked out pretty well for you.
Here is Freddie Galvis.
He's in there somewhere, digging into your stats.
He was trying to find out how many home runs. I had a couple of college home runs and multiple errors, multiple games with errors.
You know what stinks about the information that we have at our disposal nowadays is you can't lie about your career.
Well, I never did.
No, I'm saying
poor.
I would love to. Like, I think that'd be great. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, I was dominant for like a decade or
See,
something.
I always say that you were very good, but you don't like to say that.
No, I like it when you say it though. Sounds better.
That's why you're in that chair. You're an expert.
That's right. But the problem
That's
is,
right.
Yeah, no big deal. The problem is, even if you're a little bit off, not even trying to embellish something, somebody can call you out on it.
I get it. So next time you want to know, Ricky, just ask me. I'll be happy to do it. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Freddie Galvis, who's 0 for 2 and hits it out of play. Pitch count is at 79, so Hudson has been very efficient through 5 2/3. Galvis picked up from Toronto. Number of years with the Phillies, 1 year with San Diego. Emergence of Bo Bichette, so Galvis is now with the Reds. .80 pitches. And the 2-2 ground ball. And another runner stranded. 3 today for the Reds. Midway through 6-2. Our Budweiser What's on Tap, Michael Wacha coming up against Sonny Gray, and that'll be 5:30 with the pregame show. Later tonight, game number 2. Sonny Gray was magnificent last time we saw him, and that was in Cincinnati. He was striking out everybody. And here we are, game 1 of this doubleheader at Busch Stadium. And that's game number 2. Here's Carpenter, who twice has popped out to third base. We are in the 6th inning of game number 1. Carpenter, Edman, Hudson. 6-2 our score. 1 ball and 1 strike. Milwaukee leads 2-0. That's in the top of the 3rd at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Shift on the right side of the infield. Two and two the count. Have you seen the pajama pants?
Oh, they're pretty sweet.
Well, I'm going to tell you all about them coming up after Carpenter picks up a base hit.
I gotta give me some of those too. The giveaways are sweet. All of them all year have been great.
Here comes that base hit. And it's hit down the right field line and a fair ball off the sidewall. A leadoff double by Carpenter, who is 1 for 3. Well, I got to show you the base hit first, and then I'll tell you about the pajama pants.
Well, this is a changeup that just plays right into Carpenter's swing right there. He's able to just drop the head on this thing, shoot it right down the line, and Harrison Bader going to be in the pinch run for him.
And now the pajama pants. You'll feel so snug at night and comfortable with the kids' Cardinals pajama pants, presented by the Posthouse Company. That's Sunday, September 1st. Cardinals.com/promotions. You could see that he was hanging that breaking ball, and it played right into Carpenter's hands.
It did for sure. He saw a couple of them in that at bat. There was one that was under the zone that was called a strike.
Yep.
He knew he had to be able to protect that again, and
we've seen Matt Carpenter over the years. That's the swing. If he's able to drop the head, that's where he can do some damage.
Now you're asking Tommy Edman to drive him in or at least move the runner over. And this is kind of what we're talking about in this day and age of sabermetrics, of the lost art of a baseball player. Little things of at least moving the runner over, pulling the ball like
there
that,
it is.
giving yourself up.
It's a perfect at-bat right there.
Yep. So, yeah, it'll go down as a ground out to the second baseman. Not much will be made of it, but his teammates, Mike Shield, the front office, will say, that is a job well done on that changeup.
Yep, it's a changeup, and you could see in the swing, you could see the intent to pull that baseball. It's away, probably could have shot it the other way, but that wasn't for sure going to get the runner over. And now get him in. Get
That's
him
a
on,
balk.
get him over.
That's a balk. Yeah, they got
That'll
it.
do it.
Okay. Yep, they picked it up. That's right. And Bader scores. That's how you manufacture a run.
You get a guy at third, and you never know what's going to happen. Bell's going to want to talk this one over. It certainly is a balk. Absolutely.
See him with that little motion there?
He makes a little bit of an effort, what looks like it would be to get to his set position, and then steps off. And that's all it takes. All it takes is a tiny movement. You think Harrison Bader knew it was a balk?
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see it.
And again, the importance of just a ground ball to the right side by Tommy Edman to get a guy in that position.
1 ball and 1 strike on Dakota Hudson.
Now, certainly a lot of game left to play here, and Dakota Hudson's done a great job of getting you deeper into this ball game as he continues to be in the game. Pitch count still very manageable. Cardinals have a lead that they keep adding to. That allows you to potentially not go to the same guys in your bullpen that you like to go to in tighter games. That was going to be one of the biggest keys coming into this, as we'll watch over the next 2 days how Mike Maddox, how Mike Schilt put together their bullpen, how they roll these guys out. You know they love, tight games. You're going to see Gallegos. You're going to see Miller. You're going to see Carlos Martinez. You're able to open up some more options when you have a lead like this. Got to keep it. Got to keep adding.
Dexter Fowler is 3 for 3. The Cardinals have out-hit the Reds 8-4. And that pitch taken for a ball inside.
Dex showing off a little bit of everything today. Showing off the wheels, couple of infield hits, and then showing off the power.
His home run back in the second, his 16th of the year. And a ground ball taken there at first by Votto. And they get him by a step. So the double by Matt Carpenter, and then Bader pinch running. Winds up at third and scores on a balk. We head to the 7th. 7-2. Colton Wong is in the starting lineup again for the Cardinals here today. And we saw that nasty foul ball the other day in Milwaukee, and then he had the foul ball last weekend that kept him out of some games. Jimmy, how is he feeling?
Yeah, he's doing much better, Dan. He is a tough young man. Just days after fouling a ball off his right big toe and having a hole drilled in the toenail to alleviate the pressure, Colton was back and playing exceptionally well. Colton told me once I found out it wasn't broken and I couldn't make it any worse, I knew it came down to dealing with the pain. I just blocked it out. The good news is the toe is much better, and Colton says he doesn't even think about it now. And Dan, if you saw video of Wong after that game where he hurt the toe, it was obvious how much pain Colton was in, but he rebounded quickly.
He did, and Jimmy, you're like our big toe.
I'm sorry?
You're like our big toe.
I'm like Sergeant Hulka.
You got it.
That's the reference.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Danny.
Jimmy, people over 40 got it, but anybody else didn't. Yeah, Brad didn't get it. Just Google it, Brad.
All right, I'll get on that.
Bader stays in the game. He's in center, and Fowler shifts to right. Tommy Edman is at third base. It's a reference to a movie.
I'll find it.
Bill Murray. Sergeant Hulka.
There it is.
Yeah. All right.
It happens.
Go watch SpongeBob or something.
The guy lives in a pineapple under the sea. You've got a wide range of movie.
Patrick is my favorite. You know, I met the guy that does the voice.
Did you really?
Yeah, he's a huge Cardinal fan.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, came up in the booth 2 years ago. 2-2 pitch, and it's lined, backhanded. What a play here. This is exactly what you were talking about with the shift and how it plays into the defense for the Cardinals.
Right back to it. Paul DeJong is in a perfect place. This is a ball up the middle. Well, nowadays you see it, but years ago you wouldn't see somebody playing right here. This ball is, by the way, good pitch, jams him. But Paul DeJong was playing on the other side of second base, goes over there, makes the backhand play, sets himself. He knows he's got some time to make a strong throw. It's great positioning. It's a great play. Good glove work, good arm, everything about it.
SpongeBob.
I mean, I felt like I was sitting next to Patrick.
SpongeBob is really nice. I think Patrick is extremely nice. I like Squidward. I think he's a nice fella.
You're really into this.
Yeah. Well, I've got 4 kids.
Yeah, that'll happen.
We've kind of advanced past that.
Have you?
Yeah. But you're in the throes of it.
Yeah. We haven't got into SpongeBob at our house, though. Hasn't happened yet. My kids are young, though. 6 and 3 I've got.
It's coming.
Yeah.
There's a strike to Derek Dietrich. One and two the count to Dietrich, who has tried to bunted right back to Hudson. That's a key play in this game, and now strikes out for the second time. 7 today for Hudson. Halfway to St. Paddy's Day. That's the uniform that's worn on March 17th many times in spring training. Cardinals.com/theme. That'll be Tuesday, September 17th, halfway to St. Paddy's Day, a theme night coming up. That ties a career high 7 strikeouts for Dakota Hudson. 7. And there's a strike to Phillip Ervin, who's been hit by a pitch and a strikeout.
Tell you what, the strikeouts are impressive, but the fact that he's been able to keep his pitch count as low as he has while getting the punch outs, that means he's getting ahead, he's attacking, and when he gets the 2 strikes, it's none of this nibbling. He's going right at these guys.
That's grounded foul, so he's ahead in the count here on Ervin. 0-2 as we play with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
The kind of ratio you like to see there out of your 92 pitches.
(7-2) Cardinals. They've out hit the Reds 8-4. And the 0-2 swing and a miss. 8 strikeouts. Dakota Hudson. He's been terrific here in game 1, and it's 7-2. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. It's Wong, Goldschmidt, and Ozuna. Colton Wong today, couple of walks and a strikeout back in the 2nd inning. 3rd inning of work for this right-hander. It's a good sign that they haven't taken the tarp off the mound in the Cardinal bullpen. So this is all Dakota Hudson.
It's been fun to watch him just get better and better throughout this ball game too, just attacking. We were talking about it last inning of how when there's 2 strikes right now, he's just going right at him. I think earlier in the season you might see him get a batter 0-2 and then maybe nibble a little bit, throw a couple of sliders down under the zone, maybe spike a few. He's going right after him.
Was this originally Star Wars night?
I think it was. I think that the initial game, here's Colton again.
Boy, I love watching that.
Me too.
Hit the ball the other way like that. 3rd time he's been on base. I just saw Princess Leia rolling around the ballpark, so I guess it was originally Star Wars night. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw Darth Vader, Jason Fredbird around earlier. There is intent in this swing. Look at Colton Wong pull his hands in, shoot it the other way. He's got that whole left side of the infield open.
You just don't normally see that every day, so that's why I would guess it is. But
you know, it just could be somebody being who they are, you know. Somebody
again,
Princess Leia, you do you, you know. But I do think that I saw some stormtroopers.
You do you.
Yeah. Not here to judge. If you just randomly like to show up as Princess Leia, that's cool.
It happens. Runner goes, Colton Wong, and a stolen base. 19 for Wong. Good jump again.
Sees it right away as soon as the leg comes up at all. There's barely any room between the spike and the dirt. Colton's already gone. Another guy that we're just seeing his game, overall game, just grow. Base running, defense has always been there. He can hit for power, can shoot the ball the other way. If he doesn't win a Gold Glove this year, it's a crime.
It's an absolute crime.
I agree. I don't know what we're going to do about it if it does. Well, it's not going to happen. I mean, he's gonna win it.
Hit to right and a base hit. Aquino comes charging in, fires to the plate, not in time, and the speed of Wong. What a jump. That's a good arm and right by Aquino. It's another RBI and base hit, and it's 8-2.
You are absolutely right. If Colton Wong does not get the jump that he got, he's going to get gunned down. Even though this throw is a little bit up the line by Aquino, it was a strong throw. Great job by Goldie, just serving it right out there. But Aquino comes up slinging right here. And Colton right off the bat knew he's running hard the whole way, picking it up a little bit more, and Cardinals continue to add on.
I felt the player that would benefit the most from the managerial change last year, Colton Wong.
You're seeing it.
And it was refreshing at the time to see the change, and it's refreshing for Colton Wong, and we've seen it. It's been just over a year, and you know, obviously for Wong, he knew he was going to play every day. He had a history with Mike Schilt, and he's taken off. I mean, he's a different player.
Well, you know, confidence is everything, and if you have it, if you know your skipper has it in you, it's easier to get the most out of your skill set, and Colton is doing that right now.
First out off the bat of Ozuna, and it brings in the shortstop DeYoung, who has doubled, has an RBI. He's 1 for 3. I guess there are just certain players that feel more comfortable with certain managers or coaches, and Colton Wong is more comfortable with Mike Schilt.
Well, you also never know. I mean, maybe that evolution was just going to come. It was going to happen because you know the skill set was there for Colton Wong, and at some point you were going to see all of it. But certainly there's a comfort there with Mike Schilt. There's an understanding. There's a respect from both sides, and ultimately it comes down to him doing his job, and he's done his job, and he's been out there. He's out there day in and day out.
8-2 our score. Double figures in hits for the Cardinals. They've out-hit the Reds 10-4. One ball and 2 strikes. Sal Romano is the 26th man called up by the Reds today, and rosters can expand tomorrow. Jimmy went into that, how the Cardinals will expand tomorrow, and a lot of new faces will be in that Cardinal dugout tomorrow, and I'm sure a lot of new faces will be here tomorrow for the Reds as well, as DeYoung sends a high fly ball out to right center. Aquino over to make the catch. Brings in Molina, 2 for 3 with a double and a homer. And we'll get a double switch here from David Bell.
Our Chevy call to the bullpen. Joel Kuhnel comes into the game in relief today for the Reds, and it is Farmer going in playing second base. Kyle Farmer here batting ninth. Cardinals lead 8-2 here, and in the third inning, Yadier Molina, he's letting it eat. Gets a fastball down the middle. Hardest hit this season for Yadier Molina. StatCast AI powered by AWS. Not getting cheated, and Yadier Molina has been on fire. Double in the first, had the home run earlier, and having a good day as the Cardinals continue to pile on. Joey Votto can't quite get to that one. Yachty hasn't been wasting much time either. He sees something he wants to hit, he goes for it. Kuhnel just gets that one in on his hands a little bit.
Joel, the 4th down, Brad.
I mean, not real. I didn't speak for the last, I don't know, 3 minutes. That's fine, though, right? Let it breathe. You always say that.
Yeah, just let it breathe. Nothing at 2. Kuhnel into the ball game. Part of the double switch. Where'd Farmer go?
He went to second base.
See, you're all over it. Hit to third, taken there by Suarez, and a forced play. There's Farmer at second, and we played 7. Take us to break.
Well, Dakota Hudson has been dealing so far. On to the 8th inning, giving the Cardinals just what they need.
Dakota Hudson, top of the 8th, still going strong, and he's turning into quite the story, and an important story in game 1 of a doubleheader tomorrow, and then a day game on Monday, Labor Day. So the Cardinals, we began our telecast talking about the importance of having length and depth from your starter, and the Cardinals getting that here in game 1.
He has been outstanding. First inning, ran into a little bit of an issue, had a backup slider. He was down 2-0. How did he respond? Well, he responded by rattling off 11 straight and finds himself in the 8th inning as soon as he records this first out. I believe it to be his longest outing.
Difference of him today as opposed to the beginning of the year. What are you seeing?
Well, right now I see somebody that is not to say he wasn't confident early on, but he's just pitching with his stuff more so. Just he's not trying to hit every single corner. He's not trying to nibble. He's trying to just attack. He's attacking down in the zone. And I also believe that there's mechanically, especially from a down June that he had, June, July, he just looks so much more in control. He doesn't rush. His body's not speeding up. And his arm just continually gets in a good position.
And lined and caught it short by DeYoung. It's his second really fine play that he's made defensively for the Cardinals.
Spent a lot of time talking about positioning for Paul DeYoung earlier and how that's really helped him, but that's flat out athleticism right there.
There's Josh Van Meter, and the 1-0 pitch, a strike. So he's at 99 pitches. I wouldn't think that Mike would have him go into the 9th, even if he has a quick 1-2-3. You never know.
Fly ball deep right. It's 2 away. You never know.
Yeah, I would be surprised. I mean, he's giving you exactly what you needed. The pitches by inning here was that first inning where he labored a little bit, gave up a couple of runs with 23, but man, has he been efficient since then.
You know, the one thing, though, that Mike Shildt has shown, there are times when he'll let guys go very deep into games. And a fly ball, left field, Ozuna over, and it's out of play.
Tell you what, I really do appreciate, and I know that 100 oftentimes in baseball now is a magic number. It's like, all right, oh, he's at 100 pitches. We got to get him out of there. Your eyes tell you a lot, too. You know, your eyes can tell you if a guy is laboring. You can see if his arm is dropping. 100 pitches is different to everybody. Lance Lynn was always that guy for me, where he'd be at 100 pitches. Like, who cares? He's got 2 more innings left in him. You know, Dakota Hudson looks stronger and stronger as he's gone on. That being said, I'd still be surprised.
And the 2-1 pitch. That may have made the decision for him for that 9th inning. So 2 outs and a runner at first.
I think games like these two are a great opportunity for Mike Shildt and Mike Maddox to see a young pitcher. Obviously at 106 pitches right now. I'm sure that he's feeling a little bit. He's gassed. How does he make adjustments? How does he still execute pitches?
.112 was the career high in pitches thrown for Dakota Hudson. And the 1-1 pitch tapped foul, and it's now 1-2. $44,738 the tickets sold. Clearly not the crowd today, but that's the tickets sold. It's still not bad on a turnaround on a doubleheader.
I got a feeling tonight's going to be packed. Beautiful night, beautiful weekend. I want to see the slider right off of that thing. Throw the slider, start it on the outer third, get the swing and miss.
The 2-2 pitch by Dakota Hudson. Out of play.
Dakota on the 2-2 nose right there. If he's going to go in, it's got to be in. Didn't want to make a mistake over the plate.
And the 3-2 pitch, and he walked him, and that'll probably be it. So Mike Schill will hop out of the dugout, go to his bullpen, and that'll be a loud ovation coming up for Dakota Hudson, who will give the Cardinals 7 2/3, and John Brebbia will come on.
Well, incredible job. Incredible job by Dakota Hudson. Bounced back after a longer first inning and gave the Cardinals, gave his team everything he had and everything that they could ask for before they have 5 games in 50 hours.
Let's turn to Dakota Hudson, and here in game 1, he is our Budweiser player of the game. 112 pitches, the 8 strikeouts. That's a career high. Goes 7 2/3. 4 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned, only walked 2. The 2 runs were given up in the first on a Suarez homer, and obviously very, very good here in game 1.
He's great. He's been great recently, and as you mentioned, he's one of the guys in the rotation that has really anchored things here in the final month of August so far. You hope it continues into September and certainly October as well. Just love seeing that from him. Love seeing him be efficient, get deeper and deeper into games. I love the fact that Mike Schill would run him back out there.
Brebbia comes in, and the first pitch is popped up and out of play. Well, ideally, you'd love to have John Brebbia come in and get the final 4 outs. It's Bader, Edman, and Brebbia due up for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 8th inning. He is not allowed a run in his last 3 appearances. That's out to left, and it drops in. So a run will score. That'll be charged to the starter, Dakota Hudson. Aquino picks up a base hit, and that makes it an 8-3 game. Phillips 66. Ticket vouchers are back, and they are better than ever. Get a voucher for up to 50% off on up to 8 tickets. Cardinals.com/Phillips66. And it extends the inning to Freddie Galvis. Galvis 0 for 3 against Brebbia with a walk and a strikeout. And that pitch taken in the dirt.
Well, since the first inning, the Cardinals have had all the momentum in this ball game, and
the Reds trying to take a little bit of it back right now. Brebbia, the Aquino hit, I mean, it was not a terrible pitch. It was a slider. He was just able to serve it out into left, but this isn't the kind of count you want to get into here with the lead that you have. Going to go right at him.
3-1. Three and two. Last Cardinal rookie to win more than 13 games was Shelby Miller. He had 15 back in 2013. Runners off with a pitch and the 3-2. He walked him, bases loaded. So it's one swing of the bat, it gets interesting.
John Brebbia has seen Tucker Barnhart a couple of times, 1 for 5 so far. And for Brebbia, it's just commanding counts, about getting ahead right here.
Giovanni Gallegos throwing in the Cardinal pen, and that's clearly not what you wanted to have him up and throwing, but you might have to bring him in this game. We'll see.
Gotta hope that John Brebbia is able to just lock it in. You got to be ready. You got to have the safety net there. Certainly that's what Giovanni Gallegos is doing out there, and that's kind of part of the job of being out in the bullpen as well, is knowing when to get hot, when to just barely get ready. And
yeah, but if you got him up, you're going to bring him in, right?
Looks like it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, if you're going to get him up, he's coming in.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, wherever legendary MLB moments happen. Budweiser will be there. And by Toyota, let's go places. It's 8-3. We're in the top of the 8th, and there's 2 outs and the bases loaded. And the Cardinals will turn to Giovanni Gallegos, who has been sensational this year. And it doesn't matter if it's righties or lefties, but especially, I mean, he's almost like a lefty specialist. Yeah. And the Cardinals treating this, and really Mike has been treating every game like it's a playoff game, it seems like, here down the stretch. The last, I would say, what, 40, 45 games?
Yeah, been aggressive. And look what the Cardinals have done the last 40, 45 games. They've been winning a lot of those ball games. So he's been doing a good job with his pen. But to your point before, not the game that you wanted to have to go to Giovanni Gallegos in, but certainly a game you want to make sure you lock down. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Giovanni Gallegos: fastball, slider, change, and curve. Really good slider, great feel for it, shapes it kind of different ways.
Brebbia's second appearance without recording an out, and that's ball 2. When you walk a guy here, you get a base hit, then it gets real interesting. You've got the tying run on deck. 8-3 our score. Barnhart with 1 grand slam in his career. 3-0. Since the All-Star break, Gallegos a .89 ERA. that is tops in Major League Baseball. He is stranded the last 12 inherited runners that he's seen.
Well, right guy, right spot, but tough place he's in right here.
Three and one. Three one pitch. 3-2. Nice play made down the right field line by the ball person. Three-two pitch. And it's driven into the gap in right center, and that will score at least two, probably three. And it will. It brings in three, and we've got a ball game. It's 8-6, and the tying run will come to the plate. And it brings in a batter that has been very hot in Iglesias, who is .368 in the month of August with 5 doubles, couple of homers, and a triple.
Tucker Barnhart just sitting dead red. Gets a fastball that's up in the zone. It's above the zone, but able to crush this thing into the gap. And all of a sudden, all the plans that you had of being able to stay away from certain guys, and Giovanni Gallegos obviously one of those guys, but everything changes. I mean, you got a whole new game.
The tying run at the plate. This inning has gone from would you stick with Dakota Hudson to finish the inning or maybe finish the game to who finishes the game. 8-6. Andrew Miller is now up in the Cardinal pen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Iglesias has had a very good year for the Reds. Terrific defensive player, and he's matched it with his offensive output. 296, the 9 home runs. He's driven in 49.
The offensive part's the shocking part. I mean, he is one of the better gloves around baseball.
1-2. What this has done is that you will at least have to go through Irvin, Farmer, Van Meter, and potentially Votto one more time. And the 1-2 pitch. Lined into right field, a base hit. Runners at the corners and a single on a 1-2, and the go-ahead run will come to the plate. And a visit by Mike Maddox.
Just not able to finish anybody off right here. That one just served out. Iglesias wasn't trying to do a ton there, wasn't trying to crush it, just trying to put it in play. Andrew Miller cranking in the Cardinals bullpen. A game right here for the Cardinals. Obviously, Dan, you can't let this one slip away. I mean, you had a great pitching performance by Hudson. You had a commanding lead. You got to be able to keep this.
Phillip Ervin at the plate. And a ground ball. A flip. It's 8-6. 4-run 8th inning for Cincinnati to cut the lead to 2. Gallegos, a rare misstep for Gallegos in terms of inherited runners and allowing them to score. You don't see that very often out of him. First inherited runner to score since June 20th against Miami. Lucas Sims, our Chevy called to the pen.
I got a feeling that Giovanni Gallegos is going to have plenty of opportunities to get into games like that, and it's going to go a lot different down the stretch. You're going to run into those every once in a while. The key is right now keeping it where it's at. Didn't happen that inning. Gave up the 4 spot. At this point, who cares? Go out and win this ball game.
Harrison Bader, his first plate appearance, came in as a pinch runner for Carpenter after he had doubled, advanced to third, and then scored on a balk. Since being recalled, he scored 8 runs in 9 games played, and the first pitch is strike. The Reds will have Farmer, Van Meter, and Votto. Carlos Martinez warming up in the St. Louis bullpen. Since being recalled, Bader batting .321. His on base percentage .457. So a lot of walks along the way. There's a fastball taken outside and low, 1-2.
One of the biggest changes is seeing him take that slider down and away and take the one that's down under the plate. Strike zone recognition has gotten a lot better here recently. Tell you what, Sims might try to finish him with the little slider right here. That thing stays flat. Maybe hit it a long way.
Bader, then Edman, and the pitcher's spot. That's the pitch there that you're talking about. Even that was way outside, but at times he would chase that.
I still remember an at-bat earlier in the season with the bases loaded against Sergio Romo, and I think that everybody in the ballpark knew what was coming. It was going to be 3 sliders, and it's exactly what it was, and it was off the plate, further off the plate, and further. And that right there, I mean, that's great recognition. You know what he's trying to do to you. You see it away, you pick up the spin, and you know it's not going to be a strike. He's made some big-time changes to his game.
Three and 2. And again, he lays off that pitch.
That was a good at-bat right there by Harrison Bader. He falls behind. He's down 0-2 and battles all the way back. Gets himself on base, and the Cardinals looking to score a few more runs, get that cushion back.
Now Tommy Edman seeing a lot of changeups. It's what he saw in his last plate appearance and was able to pull it to the right side to advance the runner, which was Bader. Cardinals have tried to run in this series early on against Tucker Barnhart, and they did that. Even with Barnhart behind the plate, did that with Bader early on. was Colton Wong with a stolen base, and that was his 19th of the year.
Sometimes it doesn't matter who's behind the plate. You got to play your game. You got to put pressure on them. Barnhart was able to throw out Fowler trying to take third, double steal.
And it's pulled foul.
Reds making sure they keep a really good eye on Harrison Bader right there. You know, if he ends up stealing a bag on you, it doesn't take much to get him to score. They're trying to keep this thing as tight as possible. Right now they kind of feel like they got a little bit of momentum. You got to take that right away from them. Had a game years ago, I believe. I could be wrong on the number, but I think it was at least 8 or 9 times where Ryan Franklin picked over. It was awesome.
And by the way, our thoughts and prayers. I don't know if Ryan is watching today, but our understanding is with the storms that hit the Midwest that there was lightning that hit in his area and his house burned down, and he lost everything. Is that
family
correct?
all safe. Yeah, family's all safe. Got everybody out, but their house could not be saved. So definitely think about Ryan and his family. I know he's got a great, strong family. He and his wife Angie, great kids. They're tough. They'll rebuild, but tough times for anybody.
He was running on that pitch, popped up, and out of play. Our pregame show tonight at 5:30. Bader off with the pitch. The 3-2. Base hit into right. Aquino's throw not in time. Scoots away. Edman to second base. And the Cardinals have something cooking here in the bottom half of the 8th.
That speed element, I like that. Harrison Bader on the move. Tommy Edman, good base running when he sees it kick off. Ball just up, fights it off. Harrison reads it very well.
By the way, Aquino's got a cannon.
Yes, he does. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the right fielder they had before the trade deadline. When Yasiel Puig would come up firing.
This is a base hit and an error, and second air charge to the Reds. They'll bring the infield in. And the batter will be Tyler O'Neill. This will be his first plate appearance since being recalled. He's 2 for 10 as a pinch hitter this season with a double, 5 strikeouts. 380 his average at home this season with 4 homers. That snaps an 0 for 12 for Tommy Edman with that hit. Just makes things happen.
I want to hear a really loud noise here in a minute on a breaking ball that just misses over the middle of the plate. That was the one.
Yep. 0-2 the count on Tyler O'Neill. Infield drawn in. Outfield is deep. Two and two.
Got to hang on this slider.
Ooh, held on to by Barnhart. Got a piece of it, but struck out, and now it's Dexter Fowler with 1 down.
Well, big opportunity here, obviously, for the Cardinals to get back that cushion that they've had. 2-run lead's great. A base hit can make it a 4-run lead.
Well, they shift the infield in, so 3 on the right side. Little poke through the left side, and easily would score 2. Fowler today with 3 hits, 2 infield singles, and a home run. Fowler 2 for 5 against this right-hander and pulls it just foul. And Fowler hits it a mile high into shallow right center. Infield was in, and the catch is made. Throw comes in, caught, and now runners at second and third, and 2 down. The Cardinals need a 2-out hit from Colton Wong. Infield back now. Wong has been on base 3 times with a double. Pair of walks. One lefty they have is Amir Garrett. Good cut. Nothing in 2. The Brewers a 2-0 lead. That's in the bottom of the 5th at Wrigley. And the 0-2.
Sims might end up doing Colton Wong a favor if he tries to finish him away. If he tries to go with that backdoor slider again like he got ahead, he can shoot that right through that left side. In's probably the play.
Tried to go in and pulled it foul. Wong with 2 outs, a .291 hitter. Inning started with a walk, and then Tommy Edman, a base hit, advanced to second on an error. And time called.
Well, that big 2-out hit here, I mean, that's got a chance to break the Reds. The Reds were in a big time hole. They battled back, they fought, and then if it gets taken away from them again, I mean, you know that just totally changes the tides.
The 2-2. That pitch right there.
Yep. I mean, Colton does a very good job of just staying back. He can drive the ball to all fields, and he can see the backdoor slider. This thing just up a little bit too high, fouls it back. If I'm Sims, I'm trying to throw that slider back foot. I'm trying to go in with that, get him to swing over the top of it. Especially with the base open there. I'm not worried, you know, not that I want to face Goldschmidt with the bases loaded, but I've got a place to put him.
Did not go. Full count. Goldschmidt on deck.
General school of thought here. If you throw it 2-2, you throw it 3-2. Be looking for another slider here.
Three-two pitch. That's what he got, and it's fouled back. Now, do you come again with it?
I would. I absolutely would. That wasn't your best one. I try to start it middle in and get it to, you know, finish off the plate down and in. Try to go fastball in here, trying to tie him up. Colton making him work. Found himself in a hole, but keeps on battling. It's exactly what Harrison Bader did. Found himself in a hole. Tommy Edman, same thing. Fought one through, battled through. This group is relentless.
And Wong hits it out to deep center field. That ball is a one-hopper off the wall, and 2 runs will score, and Colton comes through.
Well, great battle by Colton Wong. He fought off some tough pitches, finally got himself something he can hit. Now, I don't know if, even if Phillip Ervin is playing back, if he's going to catch this ball, but you'll see here, Ervin is in. I mean, he is way in, gets absolutely burned on this one by Colton Wong, and there you go. Cardinals, a lot like the first inning. They got punched with a 2-run home run. They responded with 4. Top of the 8th, the Reds score 4. They battle right back and get 2. This team just keeps counterpunching.
2 doubles, 2 walks for Colton Wong. And it's back to a 4-run St. Louis lead. Tyler Webb now starts to throw. Martinez was hot and ready. And the batter is Paul Goldschmidt. Cardinals actually had Matt Carpenter taking some ground balls at first base the other day just to have Carpenter ready in case, to give Goldie a chance to sit potentially 4 games in 2 days. And Goldschmidt hits a fly ball out to left. Got underneath it. And the catch is made. Ervin was playing shallow, and Wong burned him in center and drives in 2 to make it a 10-6 St. Louis lead. Cardinals fell behind in this ballgame 2-0, and then led at one point by the score of 8-2. Then it was 8-6, and now it's 10-6 St. Louis. Big day for Yachty, big day for Dexter, big day for Colton Wong, and our Chevy call to the pen takes us to Carlos Martinez. They're trying to hold on for Dakota Hudson. He would pick up the win. 35th appearance for Carlos Martinez. 10-6 our score. Cardinals about hit the Reds 12-7. Third straight game with a double for Wong. 14th career game, reaching base safely 4 times for Colton Wong. Well, if you get Martinez hot, you might as well bring him in, and that's what they've done.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe if you had a little bit more time, maybe you'd go to Webb if he had a chance to get fully going, but you've already got him locked and loaded, and the hope is here for Carlos. It's a quick 9th.
It'll be Farmer to lead it off, and then Van Meter and Votto. 10-6 our score here in game 1 of the doubleheader. Nothing in 2 the count. Farmer was part of a double switch. 1-for-1 against Carlos Martinez. And a ground ball, couple of hops, tricky hop there at the end. 1 away. We'll have our post-game show, then a full pregame show coming up. The pregame will be at 5:30. Following the post-game show here on Fox Sports Midwest. Van Meter is 0-for-1 with a walk against Martinez. Then Votto 3-for-26 against Carlos Martinez with a home run and 15 walks. That's what you want to see him be efficient.
Yep. Pound in the strike zone.
Nothing in 2 the count. And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Carlos has a nasty sinker, a great slider. This might be one of my favorite pitch that he throws is the changeup. It just tumbles.
The changeup to the lefties, it's nasty.
It's filthy. It just tumbles right out of his hand. He sells it just like the fastball, but it's 8, 9 mile an hour difference.
And a fly ball out to left, and this should do it. The Cardinals will take game one by the final of 10-6. And a 7-pitch inning for Martinez.
Dakota Hudson was fantastic today. Gave him a chance. The Cardinals offense was relentless. And this 5 games in 50 hours, so far so good.
So far so good is right. Game 1 to the Cardinals. Off to the post-game show. 10-6 the final.